The movie starts with a girl named Mel crawling out of a grave. A scary person with a pickaxe shows up. Mel begs him not to hurt her, but he kills her. Now, in the present, 5 friends are driving together on a road trip. One of them is Clover, Mel's sister. They are all trying to find Mel, who went missing in this area. They stop at a small store where Mel filmed her last video. In the video, Mel tells Clover that she misses their mom, who passed away, and wants to leave home to feel better. Megan, one of the friends who has some kind of psychic power, asks everyone to hold hands to try to sense anything strange. But before anything happens, a loud truck horn interrupts them. Clover goes into the store. Max wants to go in too, but Nina tells him to give Clover some space. She explains that Clover and Max used to be a couple but broke up. Inside the store, Clover shows a picture of Mel to the cashier and asks if he has seen her. He says Mel is missing and adds that she's not the only person who disappeared. He warns that many people go into a place called Clover Valley and never come back. Outside, Abe, Nina's boyfriend, talks to the group. He thought the trip was just to retrace Mel's steps, but it becomes clear Clover really wants to find her sister. Abe warns that doing something like this often leads to trouble. Moments later, Clover tells them she knows where Mel disappeared. The group drives through stormy weather into some eerie woods. They keep driving in circles, and Nina suggests turning back, but Abe refuses. During their argument, they suddenly enter a yard where the weather is strangely clear, though a dark cloud looms nearby. Around the corner, they spot a mysterious house. After exploring the area, the group decides to enter the building. Clover stays outside, stunned by the stark boundary between the stormy and dry sides. Max stays with her while Abe, Nina, and Megan explore the house. Inside, they find old objects from the 1990s, including a sand timer mounted on a wall. At a table, Nina finds a registry book and writes her name in it. As she flips through it, she sees names written inside, including Mel's. She's shocked. Mel must have been here. But Mel's handwriting becomes increasingly erratic toward the end of her entry. Abe begins filming with his phone and discovers a poster of missing persons, including Mel, mounted on a wall. Outside, Clover sees a figure that looks exactly like Mel and runs into the storm to follow it. As night falls, Max catches up to her and pulls her back. When the group reunites, they try to make sense of everything. Nina notices the sand timer has flipped and started counting down. Suddenly, a banging noise is heard outside. They check and are horrified to find their car moved to the stormy side of the compound. Scared, they rush back inside. With no phone signal, Clover suggests finding another way to contact the outside world. Nina and Abe keep watch by the window while Max, Clover, and Megan explore the basement. With the lights flickering, Megan uses her phone as a flashlight. Clover finds a landline, but it doesn't work. Megan discovers an old radio, but it only emits screeching and static. Meanwhile, Nina and Abe hear a loud bang. Abe goes to investigate but doesn't return. Nina follows and finds the room dark. When she turns on the light, she is horrified to find Abe cut in half by a monstrous figure. Her scream alerts the others. Max rushes in and finds both Abe and Nina dead. He runs back to warn the rest. As they hide, the figure passes behind them. Max seizes the chance to strike, but his attack fails. The figure grabs a wooden piece and drives it into Max's eye, killing him. The figure finds Megan hiding in a closet, drags her out and brutally smashes her face on the floor. Clover tries to fight back, stabbing the masked figure, but it has no effect. She flees into the woods, where she sees a figure resembling Mel. Distracted, she's impaled from behind by the masked figure and dies. The countdown ends, and the sand timer resets. Time loops back to the moment when the events first began. Everyone returns bearing the wounds of their previous deaths. In the room with the missing persons poster, new photos of the group have appeared. Megan's psychic powers flare up. She senses the dark force growing stronger. Abe suggests they flee the house, but Nina objects. She reminds them that they were all murdered just minutes ago, and her name has appeared twice in the registry book, just like Mel's. The night is on a loop. The lights flicker, and a door slams repeatedly. They check it, but no one is there. Abe holds it shut while Max jams it with an object. Suddenly, they hear Mel's voice crying for help. Clover wants to rescue her, but the group warns it could be a trap. She ignores them and finds no one outside, just a mysterious building that wasn't there before. A force pulls Clover toward the new building and pushes the others into the house, locking the door behind them. Max wants to rescue Clover, but Abe restrains him, accusing him of being motivated by personal feelings. This angers both Max and Nina. Clover wakes up in the strange house, surrounded by eerie masks. An old woman with a breathing tank listens to a news broadcast about a town disaster. Clover tries to escape, but the door is locked. The woman approaches, telling Clover the only way out is to survive the night or become part of it. She grabs Clover and suffocates her with a mask, possessing her as the old woman disintegrates. Abe and Nina make it to their car, only to be blocked by a giant creature. As they try to flee, the car doors lock. The masked figure appears and kills them both. Max enters the mysterious house, finding old toys and a swinging chair. Just as he relaxes, Clover, now masked, slashes him. As she walks outside, she is suddenly hit by Abe's Jeep, now moving on its own. Time restarts once more, returning to the moment everything began. The only new detail, a water tank that wasn't there before. The group realizes something they did triggered their deaths. The group shuts all the doors and hides inside one of the bathrooms. Clover shares what the old lady told her before their previous death, saying they need to survive through the night. Max suggests that maybe all they have to do is just not die until dawn, and if they don't make it, they might be stuck here forever as part of the night horrors. Abe begins to cough violently while the group tries to make plans on how to survive. He attempts to hide the blood on the curtains, but things take a dark turn when his coughing becomes uncontrollable, until he suddenly explodes, his guts spilling into Na's mouth. She tries to wash it off, but Megan stops her, pointing out that the water caused it. At that moment, Na also explodes. Realizing they all drank the water, the group panics, knowing they'll meet the same fate. They rush out of the bathroom into the living room. Mag starts coughing, just like the others, and suffers the same horrific end. Clover begs Max, saying she doesn't want to go out like the others. She pleads with him to choke her to death so they can come back and make a better plan. Since the registry shows many people with repeated signatures, it means others have come back before. Max can't bring himself to do it, and he explodes right in front of her. A man walks into the room. It's the cashier from the store earlier. He tells Clover she almost made it, but she can't survive by sitting still. Her head explodes almost immediately. Once everyone is dead and the timer is up, everything resets. Megan notices she's growing an extra tooth. Clover points out that waiting for the timer to count down doesn't work, so they start digging around for something to help them come up with a plan. Clover finds different IDs of the store owner, known as Dr. Hill, who was once a chief psychiatrist in the town. Abby finds a newspaper detailing a mining disaster that occurred in Clover Valley 20 years ago. According to the report, miners dug too deep, causing a catastrophe that killed over 1,000 people. A trauma specialist, Dr. Hill, was brought in to help the survivors cope. Realizing the town was buried in the disaster, Nina sees a door and wonders if it could be a way out. However, when she opens it, the pathway looks terrifying, so they decide to search for another exit. Megan suspects whoever is behind this nightmare wants to keep them afraid. Max finds a VHS tape. When he plays it, they see a man in a lab, begging to be let out. The doctor overseeing the experiment explains that the patient is showing signs of starvation, muscle atrophy, and most importantly, intense fear, anxiety, and hopelessness. The doctor adds that the trauma from the mining disaster still lingers, affecting both survivors and visitors. The longer they're trapped, the more desperate they become, eventually turning into monsters known as Wendigos. Suddenly, the radio in the room starts working. Dr. Hill tells them there's a way out, but they must pay a price. One of them has to die for the rest to escape Clover Valley. Clover refuses to sacrifice anyone and is determined to find another way. She finds a town map and pinpoints where the doctor might be hiding. She tells Hill she wants to meet him face to face, and he agrees, but only if she comes alone. Abe thinks it's a good idea since they only have 4 nights left. All the other signatures on the registry never made it past 13. They need to take the shot. Clover agrees to meet Hill, who reveals he's in the woods with her sister. This makes Clover even more determined. The others try to stop her from leaving, except Abe, who points out they can't keep dying over and over. If meeting Hill ends the cycle, so be it. Besides, Clover has already tried to kill herself twice this year. While talking, Na impales Abe with a pickaxe as punishment for convincing Clover to look for her sister. She tells Megan and Max to go after Clover, while she stays with her boyfriend. Clover wanders into the woods but is caught in a trap. She struggles to free herself, only to get dragged into a shadowy darkness. Meanwhile, Megan and Max are also in the woods with a flashlight, searching for Clover. Goo suddenly falls on Megan's shirt. They look up and are horrified to see a Wendigo. They run toward the house, but Megan trips and crashes through glass into a buried house below. Max grabs her hand, trying to pull her up, but the Wendigo jumps on Megan, dragging her body into the shadows. Max finds Clover still alive but trapped. Mel appears from the shadows, now a Wendigo. Before it can attack, Max grabs a mousetrap and clamps it on Mel's face, buying them time to flee deeper into the woods. Clover begs Max to kill her this time, promising they'll return and fix things. Max reluctantly agrees and slashes her. Left alone, Max drinks some water droplets and explodes in front of Mel. Clover wakes up in yet another cycle. Abe feels something on his back. He's mutating. To calm him, the others lie and say he's fine. Clover asks how long they've been here. Max guesses 4 nights, but Na corrects him. It's been 13. She tells Clover to check the registry. Since no one has made it past 13 nights, they must survive this one if they want to escape. When Clover opens the window, she sees gloomy houses that weren't there before. None of them remember what happened last time, or the time before that. Mel is missing and no one recalls anything, except Abe, who has been recording everything on his phone. They watch some videos. A claw wriggles across Clover's face, and she turns into a monster. Other recordings show how they died before. The last video shows Megan following Dr. Hill, hoping to uncover the truth and escape. A siren wails outside. When they look out the window, Wendigos are approaching the building. The group grabs weapons and heads through the door they were once too afraid to open. It turns out to be a tunnel leading to the sunken village. They reach one building and find a Wendigo scavenging remains. They freeze, waiting for it to leave, but another finds them. Clover traps it with a pickaxe, allowing the group to flee. Inside another room, a masked figure bursts through the roof. The creature attacks Clover. Max tells her to find Megan while he fights it off. They kill it with a hammer to the skull. Meanwhile, Clover is attacked by Mel. But this time she accepts reality and kills her by pushing her onto an iron rod. Clover finds Megan trapped in a lab with a Wendigo chained across from her. She goes to another room to find the key, but Dr. Hill locks her in. Looking through her file, he tells Clover she's an intriguing patient. She suffers from severe depression, anxiety, and 2 failed suicide attempts. He explains that every monster is a manifestation of her own fear. While he talks, Clover places his coffee mug under a leaking pipe, then gives it back to him. Meanwhile, Abe, Na, and Max are being chased by Wendigos. Megan watches as the creature before her starts to break loose. Dr. Hill drinks the water. Moments later, he realizes what she's done, but it's too late. Clover pushes him away just as he explodes. She grabs the key, rescues Megan, and they escape, slamming the door behind them. But it's not over. Other creatures chase them as time runs out. They find an opening and run for it. Max and the others find them just in time and pull them out. This time, the timer doesn't restart. The sky returns to normal. The once never-ending storm has stopped. Abe is already in the car, telling everyone to get in. It's time to leave. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.